Hey everyone, and welcome to today's episode in which we are going to talk to Gus G, one of the most skillful guitarists of today, ex-guitar player of Ozzy Osbourne and the founder of the band Firewind, which recently released their ninth studio album, which we are going to talk about today. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for finding time. I assume you're pretty busy with the new album being released and everything. So thanks for finding time to jump on the
Sure,
call.
man.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's my pleasure to talk to you.
You are in Greece, right?
I'm in Greece, yes,
All right.
Thessaloniki.
Thessaloniki, I love that place. By the way,
You've been here before?
yeah. Greece in general is my go-to place with my family, for vacations. I was last time I was in Creta and Crete last summer. Yeah, but enjoying it a lot.
Yeah. It's nice there. Yeah,
it is. It's gorgeous. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So how's it there? With the pandemic and everything. What keeps you sane these days? Now that you're locked up at home and cannot go on tour.
Well, I mean, it's like for me, I just do everything I did before, minus basically playing live, which was a big part of my life and traveling. But on one hand, like as we were just talking before, like you get used to this new situation, whereas like you have to kind of realize, okay, now everything stops and this is like a new reality.
Mm-hmm.
And you I don't know, it's in a way I'm trying to enjoy this because I'm thinking, well, at some point I will go back to my touring life like I had before. I don't know if it's going to be next year or in 2 years or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that probably the way that I approach it is like, well, when will I ever get to stay at home and be like, okay, now everything stops and then now I have time to do other things. Probably maybe never again. So I'm just trying to take advantage of this year. And I have to say, I mean, I haven't been feeling so motivated to work hard every day. I mean, there's days and days, like there's some days I play a lot and I write music and I do a lot of things, and then there's days that I just don't feel like doing shit. So
like everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got 7 billion brothers all over the world and sisters. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly in the same boat.
Yeah.
All right.
That's but we're trying to keep the positive spirit. That's it really. I'm thinking of other ways, how to do stuff, and playing music is still my main thing, and this is what I do, and this is what I love doing, and as long as I have my guitars and everything, and it's good for me, and I'm with my family and my friends, and lockdown measures have been lifted here in Greece,
okay,
so
good.
So we can go outside, even though I cannot travel outside the country. Yeah. I'm fortunate to be in a nice, beautiful country, so I'm just gonna enjoy the summer as much as I can. Yeah.
What about in general? Do you think the music industry is going to get affected by this lockdown in long term, or we're just going to go back to normal after all of this craziness ends?
Hard to say. Hard to make any predictions because I think. I mean, in my opinion, I think it will be affected. It already has been affected, of course. And it'll be interesting for me. What I'm waiting to see is how it's going to go back to the normal touring cycles. Like what's going to happen to all the tours that were canceled or postponed? What's going to happen to new tours? How many festivals can come back next year? I mean, will the clubs that we used to play, will they be able to survive this? Will they be able to stay in business? Like, there's a lot of question marks there. So, yeah, of course, I think about these things. On one hand, I'm not in a rush to go out there and play my next show. But on the other hand, I'm thinking, well, how is this going to go back to? What are going to be the new rules? And how is it going to be applied in each country, depending on the situation?
Exactly. And releasing an album in such a difficult times is kind of bold, right? I mean, because out of the regular, release promo tour routine, you can only do the first 2, basically, right? So you kind of go on tour supporting your new album. And why did you decide to release it actually right now? Why not postponing it till, better days?
That was a thing that the label really wanted to continue. I actually called them up and I said, well, what do you think? Should we postpone this? And then they were like, no, let's continue. And of course, I see the good in this, where it's good to put out music because everybody needs music, especially in times like these. And I'm actually happy that we released it. I don't regret it at all. Even though if we cannot tour, do the traditional type of tour cycle. On the other hand, there were some mishaps in the campaign and stuff like that. But primarily was the label's decision, because it was ultimately a little bit out of my hands. Now, would we have better results, or would it be better if we released it in 2 months from now? Probably not. It would have been the same, because we don't have any tours for the rest of the year, and we can't really do much. So it is what it is. This is one of those situations where like you bite the bullet and you go with it.
And since the release of Immortals, we went through major, yes, I can say that, major, lineup changes. With Bob leaving the band and Herbie Langhans, joining on vocals, right? How has it been, working with Herbie? I mean, he jumped in kind of late on into producing the album already, right? Into writing it. How's the atmosphere, and how do you feel about the new lineup?
I feel really good. It's of course like starting all over again in a sense. Having a new guy in, but he's very he's an enthusiastic guy,
and he's a great vocalist. Yeah,
great singer. Yeah. He was able to jump in like you said, in the middle of the production, facing really tight deadlines, and he did a great job. And he's like a really positive guy, and we needed that in this band, to be, we needed it to be in a happy place again, because towards the end of 2019, we were not such a happy band anymore, and we had to go through these changes. So I'm really excited, because we still haven't played a show with Herbie. So in a sense, it's like this is a band that's been around for almost 20 years, but in a sense, it's like a new band now. We're gonna go out there, first of all, as a 4-piece, not as a 5-piece anymore. And secondly, with a new singer. So I'm excited to play all these songs with Herbie behind the mic. And I'm just excited for when this, touring times are going to come back, when, I'm excited to basically, start rehearsing again, and, kind of like putting together the set list and the show all over again from scratch. It's interesting. Before pre-coronavirus, it was going to be a very hectic thing, but now, since we had time to kind of decompress from everything, now I'm getting the excitement.
Do you guys keep in touch? I mean, social media and stuff. Right?
Yeah, we have like a group chat with a band, and we all keep in touch. I guess that's what you mean, right?
Yeah. How often do you guys communicate?
We talk every week, every couple of days. So just to see what's up, how's everybody doing, and if there's some news and all that stuff. I'm like the guy who's, like the manager of the band, so to say, and I'm the guy who's in touch with the label and all the, the booking agents and stuff. So I'm the guy who has to bring the info to the rest of the guys, and then, so whether it's good or bad news, I'm the guy that has to say all these things. But it's all good. We keep in touch, and we talk about what's going to happen and ideas that we have for the future. So yeah.
And has Herbie contributed a lot to the lyrics and musically?
He did. Even though all the music was written, of course, we were missing lyrics and vocal lines for like 7 songs on the record.
Right. That's a lot. Yeah.
So yeah, he wrote a really good percentage of the album on the lyrics and the vocal lines. Yeah, and I tried. It was like also trying to. We were sort of finding out about each other, how he wanted to see how I'm used to working in the band, and I wanted to see what his ideas were. So we collaborated a lot on those things, but a lot of it came from him. Yeah.
I gotta tell you, man, the album is extremely coherent. At the same time, it's not linear at all, right? I mean, you released a single prior to releasing the album, "Welcome to the Empire," right? And but I cannot say that it actually characterizes the album. In fact, I cannot say that any track characterizes the album. It's so different, from a piece to a piece. So was that done deliberately? It's kind of, old school way to do it. It's not, or you just came along like that. I love it.
Thank you. No, thanks. I know what you mean. I agree with that because I had the same problem. Like when I was having these discussions with the guys and with the label, like, what's the first single? How do we go out with this? Because there's a lot of variety on the album. And the first single was a song called "Rising Fire," and that was more like this 3-minute commercial kind of rock heavy track. And then it was "Welcome to the Empire," which is more of like an epic track. But like you say, there's like so many things. Like this album is like you say, it's very old school. It's like a real like a full length album experience.
Exactly.
You need to sit down and listen to this from start to finish. It's not like you heard a couple of songs and the rest is kind of like
I get it. Yeah, I can put in a shelf.
Yeah, it's not one of those albums. So I mean, we had we had a hard time selecting the singles because there was a lot of good material all over it, and it just came out like that. I didn't do it deliberately. I realized when I started writing the songs early on that, okay, this is going to be a little bit of a different album. I can compare it a little bit to albums like we did like 15 years ago, like Allegiance or Premonition, where they had that kind of variety in there, where you go from the hard rock moments to the heavy metal stuff to the power metal.
And then drop a ballad in between,
yeah. So there's like a lot of things on there. But yeah, it just came out like that, I guess.
Okay. Do you got a favorite track? Or you think that's going to be the best one to play, live, that the crowd is going to go crazy for?
It's hard to say. I've been wrong about this before. I've been wrong. Like I'm like many times I would push and say, "Hey guys, this song is gonna, be the best one. It's gonna be great." And then we played it, and then like not so much reaction. So it's hard to say. I would like to start with adding quite a few songs on the set list from this album, and then we usually nowadays we do that. We start like by playing like 5 or 6 songs, and then towards the end of the tour, you see what works and what doesn't, or maybe halfway through the tour, and maybe you'll throw, 1 or 2 songs that it's okay, like nobody really cares about or whatever, and you keep the really strong ones. With that said, I don't know. I like the song "Devour." I'm excited to play "Devour." I'm excited to play "Rising Fire." I like it. It's a heavy song. I'm excited to play "Breakaway," which is the latest lyric video we put out. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff on it.
All right, yeah, and let's just hope you're gonna be able to hit the road pretty soon, right? I mean, like anyone else. Didn't you have a tour scheduled, for with Primal Fear? I think
it was Primal Fear and Symphony X.
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool power metal kind of tour.
I mean, that was a great bill, but it was postponed now to next year.
But were you able to reschedule it?
I heard from the agent that it will be rescheduled. Yes. Okay. We don't have the new dates yet, but I'm expecting to hear it. I guess this month. They said maybe sometime within June we should be able to announce the new dates. So that's the latest on that. We're gonna try and make up for the lost dates this year, and I don't know, maybe next summer or something like that.
I talked to Michael from Primal Fear a couple of days ago, and he said the same thing. Yeah, so I'm just wondering, maybe you heard about that.
Michael Era.
Yeah, from Primal Fear.
He was in Firewind for a while. He was playing drums for us.
Yeah, it's actually funny because I was talking to him and he had a poster of Firewind behind him.
Yeah,
and then Gamma Ray T-shirt.
Yes, he joined us in 2010 for about a year after we released an album called Days of Defiance, and then he went on tour with us. He did the whole world tour, and then in the somewhere towards the end of that, he got the offer from Gamma Ray, and then of course I told him, of course, you should do that. And
he's such a great guy to talk to. Honestly, I mean, he's
a great guy.
Very nice guy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it was a great conversation. I'm conscious of your time, so a couple of more questions, and that's it.
Sure.
I'm gonna let you go. One of the regular things, you usually do in this series, right, is asking the musician, about one crazy ass story from touring life, or just one show that stuck the most, and you cherish the memory. Anything you want to share from your touring life that you think is?
Ooh, it's hard to say. I mean, a lot of great memories from all over the world. I have great memories from going to, I don't know, America for the first time, or South America. That was a great tour we did with Firewind. Went to South America for the first time 2 years ago, and I don't know. It was crazy to play some places that I never thought we would get to play, like Guatemala or El Salvador. Like, who listens to Firewind in El Salvador? I don't know. but they do, you know.
They do.
It was crazy. Yeah.
Believe it or not, I lived in Costa Rica for quite a long time, for a couple of years. Okay. Yeah. And people go crazy about, heavy and power there. They're pretty intense about it.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I was there with Ozzy a couple of times in Latin America, but never with Firewind, and it's a smaller band, so I did not expect much. But it was a really, really great experience, and yeah. I don't know. I can't think of anything too crazy right now for you because we're usually quiet guys. I can't think of anything too crazy right now. Sorry if I'm messing up your scoop there.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. One question from the fans that I gotta ask, just because it got voted so a lot, right? I mean, and I just disclaimer, I wasn't aware of it, so this is something I want to hear from you. One of the apparently there were problems, and there are still problems with album distribution. In some countries, in some geos, it's still not available in Canada. There are still problems in Germany, I think, or something like that. Is that the case, or it's just technical problems the fans are experiencing?
You mean for our album?
Yes, the latest Firewind one.
Okay, yeah, this is it's kind of yeah, you're touching up a very sensitive matter right now because I've been. No, this is something we need to address actually. Now I've been working with a label with AFM for this since the album came out the first week. No. The album was not available on Amazon, and it was not available on Amazon in America. It was not available on Amazon in Germany, in France, in England, like anywhere, because Amazon is a global thing. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And they tried to solve it, and apparently they had some stock, and it sold out quickly. And I guess, this is the thing. I think the stock was that they probably didn't take enough stock.
Okay. I thought that's a good thing.
Yeah, but it's not like thousands and thousands of albums, or anything like that. But I don't know the number exactly, but it sold out. And then, you have your first week, and you're expecting your first week sales, and then Amazon doesn't have it, and that's where most people shop online these days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And it took them a while. I think they restocked it on Amazon in the US, and I think I was looking on it yesterday, and it was still not available. And I'm going what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, this is not funny. Yeah.
So it's not. Yeah, exactly. Actually, this caused us a lot of trouble. We managed to miss opening week sales. Chart entries in certain countries we expected. It was not a good thing. I'm glad that the album is selling, and it's it's doing well, and it's having a really good, strong feedback. But I think a lot of things were not handled right there. That's why we're having this distribution problem, which is mainly with Amazon. But people can get the album from all other retailers. Like if you're in America, you can find it on Walmart or FYE or places like that. Yeah. Or also directly through. If you're in Europe, you can get it from places like EMP or Nuclear Blast or AFM shops. So, but this is their reality. We're actually they're trying to fix it. I think it's fixed now. Should be up there. Okay. I was looking yesterday. I think it's kind of funny. I'm gonna fucking type Amazon.com now.
I was able to get my copy, so I have no complaints about that.
Yeah, actually, I can't because I have no internet. Anyways.
Oh,
but,
you're
yeah, because I'm going through my Wi-Fi.
Okay.
On my phone, my what do you call it?
LTE.
My LTE. Yeah. Anyway, so this is the problem I think that some people are having. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hopefully, it's gonna be figured out soon. Anyways, the reviews and the feedback that I personally wrote and I saw online a lot, has been great. Right? People seem to perceive.
Yeah,
nice,
and that's a sad thing at the same time because this is the best reviewed album of our career. This is this was like the album. Out of all 9, this was the one that got all the 10s out of 10s and the 9s out of 10s. And then we had to deal with so many obstacles along the way, but it's it's just one of those things.
the last message for the fans or something like that? Anything you want to share with them?
Well, I hope that everybody's keeping safe and healthy, first of all. And I hope I can come back to Kiev since you were there.
Please do. Yeah.
It would be nice. I have good memories, man, from there. I did this guitar clinic.
Okay.
And it was great. I don't remember the shop that I did the clinic, but it was really good times and really friendly people. And, we had a guide, and they took me like on a tour around the city, and I visited. I can tell you, I've visited all 500 churches of Kiev. I've seen them.
That's exactly the same thing I feel when I come to Greece, right?
Yeah. But yeah, it was a very beautiful place. And I'm looking forward to coming back there. And to everybody else, I hope we can go back on tour sometime next year and hopefully make up for all those lost shows.
Absolutely, man. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and have a great day, man. Thanks. See ya.
Thank you. You too. Bye.